MTN SME Hub. Link to growth, link to success, link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome back to the Big Small Business Show. In studio with us, we've got Katuchelo Mufamadi. He is the founder and CEO of Dropper. They are an on-demand last-mile logistics business. And what Katuchelo is asking about is how to set up a corporate or executive sales team. So let me start at the beginning. And you saw at the end of the last segment, I was asking you about yourself. My strong view is that if the founder, the CEO is not selling, the business doesn't stand much chance of succeeding in the long run. Let me give you the reason why. Is because when you're in front of client, you're listening for objections, even if they're objecting to you. So you can see it as rejection, but you can hear what is being objected to, and you can adapt your product to overcome that. It's a great source of input into developing your product. So in the early stage of the business, it's a very important piece for you. Not just forget your confidence and the other side, which is you can sell, but it's actually an input into product, okay, product design. Because now you either the website or the features, or because if they're saying, can it do this? And you go, it can't. I don't want to use it. Can it do this? Yes, it can. Okay, they're asking the questions, and you're just picking up again and again all the different questions. So my strong suggestion is to start and have the courage and the confidence just to start and go out and get rejected and ask the reasons why. Is it price? Is it this? What is the reasons? And then build that into your product, into your pitch. You also have more empathy and for the team that you're building up below you. The second thing is that marketing and sales are not the same thing. Very many small businesses mix the two up. Marketing is a one-to-many environment where you get people say, oh, let me find out. And sales is that one-to-one where you get the opportunity to be rejected, but also to learn. And it's important that you, in your mind as the CEO, that you distinguish in your mind what is marketing, what is sales, because into the future, you'll want to keep marketing to get inbound sales. And so you'll have an inbound salesperson where the commission structure would be lower because they haven't taken it's not the same effort, and you're paying for the cost of the social media. Whereas in sales, you're paying for the salary and you're getting the lead. So you have to distinguish in terms of how you structure that. Because if somebody's getting all the leads in and other one's hunting, it's not fair that they earn the same commission. That's my view. Then to start thinking about a CRM system, and there's a lot of free, and you're a techie, so you'll find the free one available right now, or very low cost to start then building that up. Especially if a serious salesperson is going to need a CRM system to walk into. So if they come and say, no, here's my Excel spreadsheet, they're going to go, well, I'm going to work somewhere else. So it's important that you start actually going through that investigation. Then your recruitment process in terms of how you're bringing in the salesperson. What are the questions that you have to ask? How many interviews? Who's going to interview? Okay, how will you know? A lot of people say they can sell. The one thing about bad salespeople, they're good at selling themselves, right? Yeah, so how will you know they can sell? What is the criteria when you're looking for the CV, on the CV that you're looking for? You mentioned in the previous part that you know people from the industry. Maybe that's not what you want. Maybe you don't want people from the industry. Maybe you do. I don't know if you do or don't, but you need to, in your mind, configure in your mind this ideal salesperson. Who is your ideal salesperson? And then build a recruitment process for that individual. So you start looking for those things. They need to be between this age and this age. They need to have a vehicle. They need to have 10 years experience. They need to be degreed or not degreed. They need to, whatever the case may be, that you need to set that up, because when you go out and look for the salesperson, then if you don't know what you're referencing, they'll all look the same. The next thing is the real hard part, which is managing salespeople. Managing salespeople is probably one of the hardest things. That first of all, finding good salespeople is very, very hard. Retaining and managing salespeople is even harder, and especially managing bad salespeople. Because I've seen bad salespeople turn to good salespeople, but I've also seen good salespeople turn to bad salespeople because they're not managed. There's no feedback, etc. So how do you manage the salespeople? And this comes back to you in the sales role, that you have to be in that sales meeting every Monday or every whatever. That's you. What are they reporting back on? How many calls are you expecting them to make? To whom? Okay. Is it 50 calls a week? Is it 60 calls a week? Is it 10 calls a day? What's your expectation of them and how they're reporting back to you, right? In terms of their non-performance, what happens if they don't perform? Are you expecting, that's why I asked you about sales cycle, are you expecting them to perform in month 1, the same as month 3 or month 6? Are you expecting them to then go from X thousand a month income to Y to Z and then flatline? What is that? That all has to be built before you start building this. And why I'm saying that as well is because if you've got a chancer, they're not going to ask you these questions in the interview because they're going to ask you. Okay, so a chancer is going to say, okay, I can do this and this. A great salesperson is going to say, okay, what is my target? Right? They're going to ask you that question. That's a signal that they're serious. They're going to say, who are we targeting? They're going to ask you that. What makes us special? What makes us different? How do I go out there? What sales collateral do you have for me to go out there? Because if a serious salesperson is going to need all this information, and not serious person is just wanting that basic. Okay, and so it's very important that you have that ready to have the highest probability of getting the right person up front. And here's maybe the bad news is that you're probably not going to get it right for the first 2-3 times until you get it right. And once again, I go back to, but you have to be selling, and you don't have to be selling the whole time. And maybe at the end, you'll drop me a mail and you'll say, I'm selling and I love it. Okay. And finally, I want to talk about the commission structure, that the commission structure needs to be smart, that different industries have different realities. Some have got a very high annuity base or repeat base. Sounds like yours do. Once you're a client, you stay a client. Others might sell a car every 5 years. It's not really a repeat business. So in your industry, try and find the right commission structure. But whatever you do, have what they call a decaying commission structure, that it decays over time. So you don't have somebody sitting there for years and years putting no effort and earning commission for something they did 5 years ago. Okay, you wanted them to still earn, but you want it to decay so that you keep them incentivized to move out. So in 8 minutes, a lot of things to think about. The one thing I really want you to think about is selling.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it for today's show. And for any of you entrepreneurs out there who are a little afraid to go and sell, I encourage you to do exactly what I'm advising Katichela to do, which is go out, get the rejection, but get the information from that selling. Do remember, if you think it, write it down and make it a reality.
The Big Small Business Show, proudly sponsored by MTN Business.